I am on page 215 in the textbook, and we have some skills practice to do here. It says to read each problem and complete the task. Lila works 5 days per week. Her weekly pay and spending are described in the table and graph below. Which statement or statements are correct? So Lila's pay is 0 days worked, $0 pay. That makes sense. 1 day worked, $100. 2 days, $200. 3 days, $300. So I can tell you that Lila's pay is $100 for every day she works. So there is the pay function. Her spending is $400 for 1 week. Whoa. This is tricky. Let's go ahead and then I'll tell you why. This is 1 week, $400. 2 weeks, $800. 3 weeks, $1,200. Excuse me. I just had a soda and it's making me have bubbles in my belly. Okay. Be careful here, guys, because her spending is $400 per week. Do you see what my problem is? Her pay is given to us in terms of days. Her spending is given to us in terms of weeks. So that's very important to notice. In 1 work week, she makes $500. Actually, I think I may have hiccups. I hope not. If so, I'll stop the video. Her pay is $500 a week. Her spending is $400 a week. So she's making more than she spends. She's making $500 a week. She's spending $400 a week. So we can tell that, let me just write that down because I suspect we're going to need to use that. Lila makes $100 more than she spends per week. So get that fixed into your head. It's very important. And then let's look at our question. The amount that Lila spends each week is more than the amount she earns each week. So this is saying that 400 is more than 500, and that is not true. Lila must work 4 days to earn as much as she spends in 1 week. Well, 400 that she makes in 4 days equals 400 that she spends each week. So that one is a true statement. After working 4 weeks, Lila could deposit $500 in her savings account. Well, she has $100 a week to spare, and for 4 weeks, that would give her $400 to put into savings, not $500. If Lila reduces her weekly spending by $50, so 400 minus 50 is $350, she can save $150 per week. That is true, because if you take that reduced amount, the $350, and you take that from the $500 that she makes per week, that is going to be $150 per week. So I like B and D on this one. Number 2, order the functions from least y-intercept to greatest y-intercept. So f of x is x squared plus 5x minus 1. Well, if you know your quadratic formula structure, you know that the -1 is the y-intercept. If not, just let your x be 0, and you'll find it. So 0 squared plus 5 times 0 minus 1. That's going to be 0 plus 0 minus 1, or minus 1. So when x is 0, y is minus 1. This one, we have the y-intercept in the table. They were nice to us here. X is 0, y is -7. Okay, that's g of x. And then function c, we can see the y-intercept is right here. That's going to be x is 0, y is 4. So we need to look at the y portion of these points, the y-intercept. There's a -1, a -7, and a +4. So the least of those is -7. The greatest is 4. So that would be B, A, C. Alrighty. Number 3 must go with this question, or this story. Oh my, you think they're trying to kill us on this? All right, the total cost for a taxi ride usually consists of an initial charge plus a charge per mile. Taxi fares in 4 different cities are described below. Use this information for 3 through 5. So in New York City, we have a table. I'm going to write an equation. So the cost is, let's do it this way. C for cost is, I need to do, oh boy, this does not match the 0, 0 principle. This is very important. So $2.50 is the initial fee. That's going to be your y-intercept. To find the cost per mile, I first need to do $7.50 minus $2.50. We need to take out that initial fee, and that's going to be $5. So it's $5 for 2 miles. Let's divide 5 by 2. That's $2.50 per mile. Now let me go through that again. I know that it's $7.50 for 2 miles, but the $7.50 includes that $2.50. So let's take that out first. Let's say $7.50 minus $2.50 is a difference of $5 for 2 miles. But I want to know just 1 mile. So I'll do 5 divided by 2, and that is $2.50 per mile. You have to take out that y-intercept before you find your slope. Same thing on this one. We've got Chicago here. Let me first of all highlight. There's New York. Chicago, let's find the y-intercept. That is right here at 4. So when x is 0, no miles, you still have to pay $4. That is the initial fee. So the cost is a price per mile plus $4. All right, so to get the cost per mile, I'm going to look at this point. That is $3.10. So I will take out the initial fee. So $10 minus the $4. That's just to sit down in the taxi cab. That's a $6. And that is for 3 miles. So you will say 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's your $2 per mile. So in Chicago, it's $2 a mile plus the $4 fee. So that's this one. The graph of Miami's taxi fares contains the points The first coordinate in the ordered pairs represents the distance in miles, and the second coordinate represents cost. So we need to find the slope for Miami. And slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 Whoa. I'm making the same error. We have to find that initial mileage. Hang on 1 second. I need to let me think through this. The graph of Miami's taxi fares contains the point, so we can find slope. Okay, we're good. Sorry. I went off the rails there a minute. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So slope is going to be 14.5 minus 4.9 equals 9.6 over 4. We still need to know so it's $2.40 a mile. Okay, here we go. 2.4 or $2.40 per mile. But it tells us that 1 mile is $4.90. That's because we have to take out that fee of $2.40 for the first mile. That means that it costs $2.50 just to get in the taxi. So Miami is going to be the cost equals $2.40 a mile plus the fee of $2.50. That one messed with me just a little bit. And then in Dallas, they were nice to us. They gave us the cost function. So we now have formulas for each one of the cities. And that's going to help us answer the questions. Which city has the greatest initial charge, and what is this initial charge? That's the y-intercept. So to find this one, we're going to look at the y-intercept, at baby B. Chicago is going to be the one, I believe. Yes. Chicago's is $4. That is the greatest one by far. That's just to get in the taxi. You have to pay $4 in Chicago. Number 4, which city has the least charge per mile? That's the slope. So we have Dallas at 1.8, and no one else is lower than that. So I'm going to go with Dallas. And what is that charge per mile? $1.80 per mile. Which shows the cities listed in order from least to greatest based on the total cost of a 15-mile taxi ride. So you know what I have to do. New York is $2.50 and $2.50. So the cost in New York is $2.50 a mile plus $2.50 initial fee. And we need to travel 15 miles. So I have $2.50 times 15, and that is $37.50. Then add the $2.50 to that. So this taxi ride in New York will cost you $40. The cost in Chicago is 2 and 4. $2 a mile plus $4 initial fee. So $2 times 15 plus 4. That's going to be $30 plus 4, or $34 in Chicago. The cost in Miami is $240 and $250. So $2.40 times 15 plus $250. That's 36 plus 250 is $38.50 in Miami. And then in Dallas, the cost of Dallas is 1.8 per mile plus $2.25. So 1.8 times 15 plus $2.25 is 27. And that's $29.25. And we need to put them in order from least to greatest. So least is Dallas. Then Chicago. Then Miami and New York. So I like answer B on that one. All right, I need to check these before I stop the video. And this is page 115. 215. Why do I keep saying 115? All right, number 1 is B and D, 2 answers. Number 2 is BAC. Good. Number 3 is $4 in Chicago. Number 4 is 180 in Dallas. And number 5 is B as in boy. And that brings us to the end of this chapter. We have the chapter review still to do. And I would suggest that you try that one as a sort of a practice test, and then watch the videos to check your answers or to see the explanations.